Kia ora koutou. Just want to share with you guys a little bit about a virtual marae that we've pieced together as part of the Tirama Mai Festival. And it's a marae that we've used on a number of different occasions for different kaupapa that we've developed, especially the educational side of things. This particular one is themed around Matariki, featuring some of these sorts of images around ngā whetū, and the personalities that make up Matariki, and sharing some information that is being worked on alongside Māori to ensure the cultural integrity is being maintained. And we've also paired it with a number of the different features that come with this Fortnite platform, just to share with you guys its capabilities and what it can do. So this particular one, I'll go through some of the anatomy of the marae. We had this set up in town in Otautahi. We launched it on Thursday, and it was live for 8 hours on the first day, and then 8 hours for each of the days until Sunday. So live for 4 days, 8 hours each day. And we'll just share some of the insights and things that we've learned from developing something like this, and then just show you around in case it's something that you're interested in. So this particular one is showing different stars, and we have different interactions for each of them. Matariki hunga, Matariki a hunga nui. Matariki has many admirers, Matariki brings us together. So there's different pieces of information relating to the different stars, sort of like that. And then once you've had an interaction with these dialogue boxes, we have a reward that pops out of nowhere, related to what was talked about. So here's a rongoa mist that you can use to be able to heal your character. It's like a soothing sort of spray thing. Cool, so we'll take you through the space. It's a part of the Haringa OS intellectual property that Maui Studios has developed, where it takes a tama and a kōtiro on a number of different adventures. And, it's all educational pūrākau in the form of comic books and graphic novels and Fortnite levels and games and that sort of a thing. And a bit of a disclaimer to ensure that users just respect the marae. I also want to give a bit of a shout out to Wakeeps, who's like an awesome ass 3D artist, who's developed a number of these 3D models and has been generous enough to let us use them for these types of educational purposes. So we come past our tari over here, and then all the different wakas, which you can drive them around if that's your thing, or you want to practice driving or parking, or you're able to do that. So I got this mean Jeep. Yeah. I'll leave that there for now, but I'll come park it up later. So I'll show you through the basic anatomy of the marae first, and then we'll show you some of ngā whetū and what they're able to do. So this is Tama. He's one of the lead characters of the Haringa universe. And we come into the marae. At this stage, we have a character in the centerpiece here, but this is a potential, role-playing space. The level can have up to 50 players playing at one time. Each student, it could be students, could be kaiako taking tours, and then you can do role-playing. So as I've got my microphone set up, you can do like proximity chat in the space with a number of different meters, so that people that are on the atia can hear any kōrero going down. You might have your manuhiri sitting over here. You could have your Māori spaced over here, and then do simulations or practice runs on whai kōrero, or you can do whittles in the space as well if you wanted to. Practicing tikanga. It's sort of like a playground for learning. And then for those that are completely new to the marae space, you can come through and learn about something.
The tukutuku is more than an artistic symbol.
So text and narration.
Embodying the mana and whakapapa of our iwi, telling our ancestral narrative through its intricate whakairo, and serving as a timeless taonga of our Māori artistry.
And so there's a number of those sorts of interactions with a basic pan view to learn about the different details on the marae, what a wharenui looks like.
Narratives of our atua, our historical events, and our iwi stories, serving as physical reminders of our spiritual connections and our duty to uphold and transmit our tikanga and kōrero to
And this is Te Whare a Maui Auaha, our Maui Studios marae. This is our wharenui. Tikanga is okay to have your shoes on in here, because it's not like you're bringing in any dirt. Custom called Whai, different depictions of Maui, and tukutuku panels relating to him. Different kōrero.
Tukutuku panels. Tukutuku and ngā wharerui are vibrant tapestries of our culture, showcasing the skill of our tohunga rangangai, echoing our spiritual connections to nature, narrating our kōrero, and contributing significantly to the uniqueness of our Māori aesthetics and the broader cultural landscape of Aotearoa.
So there's our wharenui. There's so many more places to explore within the Marae complex, but we'll just carry on and I'll show you some of the other things. For each of the, as you've seen, for ngā whetū, we've just got different interactions and with different kōrero. So this being one around ururangi and relating to the winds. We just want to enable, access to different items and things that help, reinforce the kōrero, I suppose. And so what we found as a part of these experiences, having mātauranga being shared in these sorts of ways and paired with these sorts of interactions is, we found that a lot of young players, or all players, were really curious to be able to play with it. I think that's reflected in our usage time. It's paired with that education, but it's also something that's really fun as well. It's like almost like meeting rangatahi in their spaces, being able to interact with them there and maybe bridge the gap between something that their mum and dad might not want them doing, and but they're really genuinely interested in, and being able to learn useful mātauranga and things that are useful. So what's really cool about this space too is it's like, because it's a digital space, it's maintaining its integrity. People might accidentally disrespect it or jump on certain things. It's not like it's going to degrade, but we also have little punishments that happen to if people get too out the gate with their disrespect of tikanga. So this is one where, and forgive me for doing this, but it says part of the demonstration, you'll see why.
Will be looking down on you with disappointment on their face. So
if people are breaking tikanga, they'll take physical damage and they get a little bit paru as well. So it's just a little bit of a reminder, don't be an egg on the marae. And I think that's also highlights perfectly the ability to build cultural literacy and awareness, cultural competencies in some of these interactive ways. Like, this is what happens if you make a mistake in these spaces, and it's not the end of the world, but at the same time it is good to be aware of what are the do's and don'ts in the space. It's a safe space to be able to do that instead of we all know what it's like to get scolded by one of our aunties or our nanas if we do something wrong. So let the mechanics of the engine do that with you. What's really cool about this, I'm playing this on my laptop right now, but it's accessible across each of your devices. I've played a version on my phone. It's native to Xbox and PlayStation, PC, your tablets, everything. So that's widely accessible from people across the show. And as long as you've got an internet connection and a decent enough setup, you can be able to interact with these spaces and play Fortnite as well. So that's something that's really cool. And it's easy enough for us to be able to go through, and as soon as we spot little things, like, where was it? I might happen over here. You can have a little sit down. Yes. So it's this sort of thing where we've made a mistake where the character will sit opposite to the tepu. It's easy enough for us to go through and make an update, and then it'll be live tomorrow. So, it's easy enough to be able to make updates. So there's just some details about this particular experience. I know I could go on for ages, and we had people, as I was saying, playing this thing for hours. But I think the best way to truly understand it is to have a bit of a go yourself and see the potential. And it's just a really awesome technology that's fun, relatively easy if you've or if you're working with us, and it's accessible. And so this particular event for Tirama Mai, this is the first time we've used it as an event space. So we're hosting different events here. Previously, we'd just run brief wānanga with different schools throughout the North Island, and just walking them through what a marae is, and then as well as the process to being able to create some of these things as well. but it's all around just education and enabling. But yeah, it being used as an event space, and so we've got this classroom here where we've just shown some of our Maui Studios illustration nahi based on the comics that we've done. But there's so much potential for it. In future renditions, we're going to have, games and things that people can play out here. Over on the papatakoro over here as well, like a playground, you can do different interactions and games. And as time goes on, we're just going to keep layering through developments and improving it. So there you go. There's an idea of the Metawhenua, or one of our virtual marae spaces, the potential for it and how it can be used for education, how it can be used for communication. It's widely accessible when it comes to the costs associated with it. Because we're a registered developer with Unreal Engine for UEFN, for Fortnite, there are no ongoing costs. So it's like a one and done sort of setup, which some of our customers have found really attractive. You just pump the upfront investment into it, and then it's just live until Fortnite might come through with some policy updates and that sort of a thing. But we've had a whole bunch of content on here that's just been left as is, and it's been looked after by them. Plus we get the powerful enablement of having such a large fan base. Fortnite's getting millions of viewers, so not only will you be able to tap into your rangatahi a lot more easier, but you might also tap into other members around the world as well. And so we see the potential in the platform. We understand it now, and we've figured it out in a way that makes it accessible to our existing customer base as a service. And we just want to just leverage these technologies as much as possible, to be able to, as an education tool, and to be able to enable education across our customer base and network. So there's some details about it. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, then just let me know. And we can continue the corridor, and I'll keep chucking updates and things on my LinkedIn. And so awesome. Ka kite koutou.